Good morning, and today we are going to be doing chapter 4, lesson 1, estimate quotients. Estimate quotients. So we know that estimating means we're going to be rounding, but in this case, not necessarily rounding, but using compatible numbers. Remember that the word compatible means things that get along together, and quotients means division. So we are actually looking at page 251 in our math book, is what this lesson goes with. And so we're going to use rounding and or compatible numbers to estimate our division when dividing with two-digit divisors. So the reason we use compatible numbers with division is because when we divide and we're estimating, we want to be able to, one, create mental math, and two, create numbers that divide evenly into each other. So we have to use parts of a fact family. So our first example says that the school principal has 812 flyers to pass out equally to 19 different teachers. About how many flyers would each teacher receive? So we're going to be estimating 812 divided by 19. And so what we want to do is use compatible numbers. So compatible numbers is similar to rounding, except we're not going to follow the rounding rules. We're just going to look at our numbers and change them to be the closest numbers that are compatible with each other, that work with each other. So I'm going to look at my 19 first, and I'm going to go, 19 is really close to 20. So that one I could maybe round, but really I'm doing compatible numbers. And then I'm going to look at my 812. So 812 is very close to 800. That is divisible by 2. I could use 82, but 82 is not necessarily as, it's more accurate, but it's not as easy to do mentally. So I'm going to round this just to the hundreds place and make that 800. And so then I can divide these. So I know that when I'm doing division with zeros, right, with powers of 10, I can cross off a 0 here for a 0 here. So for each 0 and one of the two, the dividend or the divisor, if there's 1 0 there, I can cross off a 0 there as long as they're at the end of the number. They can't be in the middle. So now what I have is 80 divided by 2, and I know that 8 divided by 2 is 4, and I have 1 0 left, and that gives me 40. Now the second example says to estimate 234 divided by 41. So again, I'm going to take my divisor here, and I'm going to estimate. I'm going to round it. I'm going to make it a 40. So after I change my divisor, then I want to look at my dividend and go, okay, think about my fact families of 4, or my multiples of 4. So I have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Now if I'm looking at my number, I go, wait, 20 and 24 are the two multiples that are going to be compatible here. So which of those two is 234 closest to? Well, it is closest to 24, which would make this number 240. And that's what it means by compatible numbers, is I'm not just rounding, I'm changing it to the number that is compatible with what I have in the divisor. So now I have a 0 on the end there, and I have a 0 on the end in the dividend as well. And then what I'm left with is 24 divided by 4 is 6. Okay, we're going to do one more example before we go. We're going to do 312, so estimate 312 divided by 31. So again, I am going to change that 31 to a 30. That's what it's closest to. It's not always what it's closest to, though. I'm really looking at my two numbers, right? I have to really look at both numbers and see what I can change both of them to. That makes sense. So now I'm going to look and I'm going to think about my multiples of 3. So I have 3. When if I look, I go, okay, well, wait, right there, 3. This whole thing starts with a 3, so let me round to the hundreds place, which would make this 300. Again, I have zeros on the end of my numbers in the ones place, so I'm going to take off that 0 and that 0. And then what I'm left with is 30 divided by 3, or 3 divided by 3 is 1, 0, and my answer would be about 10, right? Because this is estimation. Okay, thank you for watching.